Alright team, buckle up because we're diving headfirst into the murky, often morally questionable waters of global immigration policy. Recently we've seen headlines splashed across every news outlet, from the esteemed to Brenda's surprisingly informative Facebook page about countries tightening their borders and, dare I say, kicking out immigrants. Now I know what you're thinking, John, Brenda's cat meme page is hardly a bastion of journalistic integrity. And you'd be right, but the underlying trend is real. By 2025, experts predict a 12% rise in global migration, with people fleeing conflict, economic hardship, and let's be honest, probably trying to get away from Brenda's relentless cat content. So, with the world becoming more interconnected and a whole lot more crowded, how are some countries responding? Let's just say, not with a welcome wagon and a plate of cookies. Our first stop takes us to country A nation that seems to have missed the memo that building metaphorical walls is generally frowned upon in international diplomacy. They've recently implemented a new policy so strict it makes airport security look like a hug from grandma. We're talking increased background checks, ludicrously high income requirements, and enough red tape to stretch around the globe twice. Now, country B is a bit more subtle in its approach. They're not outright banning immigrants, oh no, they're just making it practically impossible to stay. Think of it like this. Imagine trying to assemble IKEA furniture blindfolded in the dark, while also fighting off a swarm of angry bees. That's the level of difficulty we're talking about here. Their reasoning? The economy, of course. Because nothing screams economic prosperity like making it harder for skilled workers to contribute. Country C, a nation where public opinion is treated with the same reverence as ancient scrolls and where nuance goes to die. Here, a recent surge in anti-immigrant sentiment fueled by, let's be generous and call it misinformation, has led to policies that can only be described as discriminatory. We're talking about limited access to healthcare, restrictions on education, and a general atmosphere of, shall we say, unwelcomeness. Chapter 4. Country D. The door is closed, please go away now. Country D has decided to take a more direct approach, shall we say. They've essentially pulled up the drawbridge, locked the castle doors, and are probably practicing their archery skills as we speak. New visa applications, denied, renewals, don't even think about it. It's as if they saw the words immigration policy and decided to interpret them as how to turn your country into a heavily guarded fortress of solitude. Chapter 5. Country E, blaming immigrants for bad Wi-Fi since 2023. Country E, a nation that prides itself on its technological advancements, seems to have forgotten that those advancements often rely on, people from other countries. They've implemented a points-based system so convoluted and biased that even Stephen Hawking would struggle to comprehend it. And don't even get me started on the cultural compatibility test, which seems designed to weed out anyone who doesn't enjoy their national dish or know the words to their national anthem. Chapter 6. Country F, we're full, but also we really need plumbers. Country F presents a fascinating paradox, a nation simultaneously grappling with a shrinking workforce and a growing fear of anyone who wasn't born within a 100-mile radius. They're desperately in need of skilled workers, particularly in sectors like healthcare and construction, yet their immigration policies are about as welcoming as a porcupine at a balloon animal convention. Chapter 7. Country G, Immigrants. The scapegoats for all our problems, except the ones we created. In Country G, immigrants have become the go-to scapegoat for every societal ill imaginable, from traffic jams to bad weather. It's like they believe that by simply removing anyone who wasn't born within their borders, all their problems will magically disappear. Spoiler alert, they won't. But hey, why let facts get in the way of a good old-fashioned blame game? Chapter 8. Country H has embraced the digital age with the same enthusiasm as a toddler discovering they can use a tablet as a frisbee. They've invested heavily in surveillance technology, facial recognition software, and automated border control systems, essentially creating a digital wall that's far more insidious than any physical barrier. Chapter 9. Country. I loves to tout its multiculturalism and inclusivity, but scratch beneath the surface and you'll find a system designed to keep certain types of immigrants out. They favor highly skilled workers with advanced degrees and hefty bank accounts, while those fleeing persecution or seeking a better life are often met with suspicion and hostility. Chapter 10. And finally we arrive at Country J, a nation so indecisive about its immigration policies that it makes a game show contestant choosing between two doors look like a master strategist. One minute they're offering pathways to citizenship, the next they're deporting people en masse. It's a chaotic and inhumane approach that leaves both immigrants and their families in a constant state of limbo. Well, there you have it, folks, a whirlwind tour of some of the most restrictive and frankly baffling immigration policies around the globe. We've seen nations building walls, both physical and digital, blaming immigrants for their problems, and generally forgetting that behind every statistic, there's a human being with hopes, dreams, and the right to seek a better life. The world is changing, becoming more interconnected and more mobile. And how we choose to respond to these changes will define us as a global community. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think of these policies? Have you or someone you know been affected by them? And stay tuned, because next week, we'll be diving into the fascinating world of international tax havens. It's going to be wild.